Hello. Thank you for joining me on a walk today. It's not so much a trail as a pretty park in the midst of Des Moines, Iowa. Aire den Boer Arboretum. I think I'm saying that right. I did watch a video that I will link in the description where they say the name and give some information about the park. Well, as you can see down here, occasionally when I pull my project out, all of the stitches have fallen off of the needle. Usually it's pretty easy to just pick them all back up, but sometimes there's a stitch that falls to the row before. This diagram here will show you how to pick that up with a crochet hook, and me down here below will show you how to struggle with no crochet hook. I do get irritated and annoyed when I hear people discount the ability and usefulness of herbal medicine. If I only had one bullet point to defend herbal remedies, it would be the fact that pharmaceutical companies use herbs and natural properties to create their concoctions. Now, I want to be very clear. Conventional medicine has helped society to a somewhat large degree, and I'm not saying all is bad. Please know that my point right now is that herbal medicine gets shit on for having no base. And I believe that herbal remedies need to be the very first response to many health issues. And with all the advertising being done by these monstrously rich companies, people may not even be aware that there are other options that don't come with a 10-page document listing side effects. When I really like a shirt, but I can't get it in a V-neck, I cut it. Leaving the back neck tape, I cut an angle from back to front on either side, following the front of the rib neck collar. It's an easy fix, it looks decent, and leaves the bias tape intact so it doesn't stretch or sag. It feels so much better too, not so constricting. Critical thinking is defined by Google as the intellectually disciplined process of actively analyzing, evaluating, and interpreting information to form a well-reasoned judgment. Rather than accepting ideas at face value, it involves questioning assumptions, identifying biases, and using logic to solve problems. Isn't it extremely interesting that Big Pharma is allowed to explicitly state that they are able to cure, treat, and prevent disease? Do you believe our government, including the FDA, is doing their very best to care for us? Okay, here's a follow-up question. Do we believe that the people at the top have love and care as their motivation? Are they lining their pockets with our demise? Why are we allowing our major food companies to use the chemicals and dyes that other countries have deemed deadly? Why is there a large-scale war on dandelions? Why are all of our fruits becoming seedless? No one sees the problem with this? Do we all concur that the people at the top are trustworthy, all-knowing, doing what's best for everyone, and always taking the payment that is fair and accurate. Seems hard to believe, doesn't it? Another fix I worked on recently is this cute summer dress. I'm not sure where it came from, but it has been sitting in the fix-it box for some time. The straps were adjustable and fraying. My original idea was to crochet over the straps and add a small crocheted border around the bottom to kind of bring it together. But with the color scheme of this dress, it was really hard to match, and I was pretty sure that the end result of that was not what I wanted. So I measured. How long did I need them to be if they weren't adjustable? I needed 11 inches. I got out my seam ripper and detached the straps as clean as I could. One of them measured past 11, but the other was fraying before 11 inches. So I had to splice in another part of the strap that was still good and finished it. I did hand sew it. I didn't see good reason to load new thread into my sewing machine. I was also hoping that the thread I had that matched the closest blended enough to not stand out. In the end, it turned out good enough to wear, and I did. My hair covered the splice in the back of the strap, and I got some nice compliments. I truly love dandelions so much. They're absolutely my favorite flower. They really bring life to spring. I have purchased 2 books on the subject, and when I get all my facts in order and the information I want to share gathered, I will make an entire video dedicated to this wonderful and underappreciated medicinal plant. I suppose in closing, I would like to wrap it up with the obvious. I really do enjoy fixing clothes. No, even though that is true, I enjoy making clothes longer lasting, better looking, or just more comfortable to wear. But that's not what I wanted to close with. I wanted to say that it's important what we ingest, and that's information as well. I don't think that I have all of the answers, but I was taught to be a critical thinker. I believe that people were working on making things easier and more convenient. And at some point in all this convenience, we got comfortable. And with that comfort, the need for critical thinking got lost. I'm not totally sure how we got here, but I can assume it was a combination of things. It does seem like a vicious cycle that we can't break away from. But just how they infiltrated our lives slowly and methodically, we must do the same to create the kind of world we want to live in. So I've been putting my opinions out there, not knowing exactly what the impact will be. But I'm not really known for keeping my mouth shut. So I will end with this. The answer is rarely, if ever, do the least and get the most. It's actually the work and the journey that makes the most satisfying life. Remember to enjoy your life. It is yours.